But you still have emotions.
I don't, there isn't anyone that has anything. What you're doing is projecting the idea of a person being here on this. There is no story, there's no one has emotions, but emotions happen.
Okay, but in my illusion, there's somebody there who still has emotions,
Of course.
feelings, a life.
That's an illusion. The illusion you have there is that there's someone here who is real, who has things. Me is the great big sticky lump that takes ownership of everything, including emotions, wives, houses, enlightenment and everything. There is nothing that owns anything. There is only beingness. All there is here is beingness. Nobody has it. Nobody doesn't have it. It's just what it is.
Okay. Why do you give talks then?
Well, I don't give talks. There's nobody sitting here and there's nobody going to be in there giving talks. There's just a response to apparent seekers asking questions, and that response comes out of no thing.
And those seekers want to be in your position.
They do and they don't. In a way, the seeker, the me, doesn't want to die. It wants to continue. What it wants, what it comes to find, is an answer so that it can continue to live with a formula for life. It's looking for a formula. There aren't any. There aren't any formulas. All there is life.
Okay.
Teachers, there are so-called non-dual teachers and teachers, attempt to help people get a formula or a way of living. The open secret absolutely doesn't recognise that there is anyone to find a formula or a way of living. There isn't anyone, so there's no formula. There's just living. This is totally radical and very rare. But if you could say that there was a history of seeking and communication, this message has always been around, but it's always been very hidden. It's hidden. It's only available if there's an openness and readiness to go beyond the sense of self wanting something.
Yeah, and the most scary thing is that there is nothing there anymore.
No, it's just scary. Yeah. There's nothing. This is nothing appearing as this.
Yeah, so that is kind of very confusing.
Yeah.
But, you know, let's say I'm still in this illusion of my I, Sabina. I kind of intellectually understand what you're saying.
Never.
No.
No, but
you would say no.
Clarity about this is not liberation, it's just another way of seeing things. For me can be very clear about what's being communicated.
Yeah.
I know lots of people who come to my meetings who could write this down, but that is clarity about this message. It's not freedom. It's only understanding the sense of this message. It's not the end of the seeker.
The end of the seeking?
No, clarity is not anything other than something that the seeker now owns. But liberation doesn't happen through clarity. Separation is an energy. It's not a thought or belief or an idea. So you can't come to enlightenment through thinking or ideas or beliefs. Separation is a contracted energy, and liberation is simply the melting of that energy back into the whole. Apparently. Apparently.
Does it happen by itself?
You could say it happens by itself, but the other awful part of this message is that when suddenly the illusion of me drops away, it is recognised that there never was a me, and there never was contracted energy, and there is no such thing as a seeker or liberation or an energetic shift. It's only a way of describing it, but actually it doesn't happen.
So everybody who says who's enlightened is then probably not enlightened.
I wouldn't like to say it either way. If somebody says they're enlightened, it's obvious that they aren't. Because
they
there's
have an
nothing
eye.
here that could be enlightened. Nobody becomes enlightened.
Okay. Okay, still I think you who probably doesn't exist.
Matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I use the word I, but it's only a figure of speech.
You have something I don't have.
Well, in a sense, it's the other way round. You have something I don't have. You have you. I've lost you.
Is it a good thing that you lost?
No, it's not good for anyone. It's freedom. Everything is lost here. All that's left is life.
So it's freedom?
So that's freedom. There isn't anyone in it that's being lived. They're just life.
So freedom, does it mean there's no worries anymore?
No, it doesn't really mean in that way. Any anxiety can arise, anything can arise, but it doesn't arise for anyone. There isn't anyone that's anxious. There's just energy, there's emotions, there's sound, and all of that arises out of nothing and falls back into nothing. And there's nothing there that's separate to it. It just is what it is, and that's freedom.
Okay, but what do you do if you're worried? Let's say
there isn't anything here that does anything. There's just worry. I'm not trying to interrupt.
Okay, so there is only this worry and worrying about something, and then?
I have to say that actually worry really is something that hardly ever arises. But if there's a story which in some way or other needs dealing with, then that in the brain would function to deal with that story, if that's what. But it isn't anyone that's worrying. It's only the brain functioning in a certain way to deal with a circumstance.
Okay, so let's say I'm coming to you as needing advice. What do I do if I'm in great worry?
I can't give you advice because there's no one to help.
Okay.
The only thing I can go on pointing, or this can go on pointing to, is that everything is what it is already, and there's nobody there that has the choice to change this or that. No separate individual has free will and choice.
Yeah, that's something you said, that also the newest neuroscientists found out that there's no free will and there's no choice. Can you explain that?
Oh, neuroscientists, strange enough, this started in Germany some 10 or 12 years ago in Frankfurt. Neuroscientists did various experiments and established that there is no such thing, or the idea that there's an individual with free will and choice is illusory. The brain constructs an artificial energy called me. So me or self is a construct of the brain, which comes and goes. It is there and then it isn't there. But the me that is constructed believes it has free will and choice. That's illusory. The brain, in a sense, you could say, the brain at that level, which is only a computer, runs everything. Chooses tea or coffee. Then it tells me that it's going to choose tea or coffee. When there's no me, there's simply tea or coffee.
Okay. Okay. Again, if we don't have a choice and not a free will, that feels like I'm like lost of any goal, you know. Don't we need a goal in life? Like
me
something
needs
to
a goal.
head?
Oh, me needs a goal. Me needs to hope and dream.
The I and the you needs that.
Yeah, the I and the you, the me, what I call me.
Yeah, okay.
Self.
Okay.
Needs goals and hopes and dreams.
Okay.
All of those collapse when me collapses.
Okay. So either it collapses or it doesn't.
No.
So I don't need to head for it. I don't need to do anything
You
about
can't,
it.
there isn't anyone there that can do anything. That, to me, is helpless.
So do you think it's like something like a higher plan?
No, there's no plan. What I start my talks with usually is that all there is energy. That everything is energy, everything is energy. And it has no director, nothing is directing it, it has no intention. There isn't something out there that wants everybody to be liberated.
So there's no God.
No
God
God.
is an energy for you.
Well, all there is energy. There's no separate figure that runs this.
How do you know that?
I don't know anything. I'm just responding out of nothing.
Is it
Nothing is saying there's nothing but energy.
Is it something you know from your experience?
No,
You feel it?
no.
You just know.
No, I don't know anything. This doesn't come out of a knowing. This is a response out of nothing to the question, is there a God?
I know what you're saying.
No, the problem with me is that it thinks it can only get anywhere by knowing anything. Actually, knowing or being aware of this or that is a way of keeping it separate.
Yeah.
The way we keep, you're sitting on the chair there, and the me is aware of sitting on the chair, and that's how it keeps separate from what is, which is just sitting on the chair. So this doesn't know anything, isn't aware of anything. It just, there isn't an it to be aware, there isn't a centre here to know, it just is life. All that's left is life.